Hey everybody, Chris Lynton here from Tribefit, and I am blessed to have with us today Ashley Boehm. Hopefully I pronounced that correct.
Very good.
Fantastic. Whereabouts are you dialing in from today, Ashley?
I am in Bondi in Sydney.
Bondi, Sydney. It's kind of a stone's throw away from where our HQ is, but wanted to jump on today's session with Ashley. Ashley is an online trainer doing some really big things, and lot more capacity to be going from where she is today. But Ashley has put up a hand, and I very much appreciate your time, Ashley. But it was more just to have a chat about where you're at, where you've been, any learnings along the way, and I guess for people who are listening in, thinking that they want to go down a similar path, kind of learning from your mistakes, your wins, your losses, whatever it might be, and hopefully shortcutting their journey as well. So I guess that's my long-winded open to it all. But I guess to throw up to yourself, Ash, could you give us a little bit of, those that don't know about you, can you give us a little bit of a journey of yourself over the past handful of years that have kind of taken you to where you are today?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a personal trainer now this is my 8th year from an advertising background. I started off as a gym floor trainer, working for other people, then working for myself as a franchisee through Fitness First. Loved running my own thing, really found a lot of freedom in having control over my own schedule, which was amazing. But of course, still trading time for money. I was probably doing some weeks 50, 60 sessions. Before I left, I was charging 150 a session for 45 minutes. So I was doing well, but after 8 years of 4 a.m. wake-ups, especially in the winter, I decided it was enough. So I promised myself June last year, I said, Ashley, you have 1 year and then you're off the gym floor. And I gave myself 12 months to transition my business to 100% online and be making more money than I was in the gym, which I was making a lot of money at the time, I'm not going to lie. So that was a big challenge for me. And it was a difficult thing to let go of as well, the fear of going into the unknown. And not knowing if I would be successful. I was kind of doing a hybrid model of some online, some face-to-face, but my online was not really where my energy went, and the product delivery wasn't great. It was, it was what it was. I wasn't charging very much for it either. So, then signed up with you guys. I think it would have been March, something like that. And since then it's kind of just taken off extremely, and I can safely say I hit my goal, which was good. Yeah. So June, July this year, I was definitely well and truly ahead of where I was in the gym. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's like you said, it was, it's kind of, when I speak to people such as yourself, when you're in a good position and things are going well, you're earning well, it is kind of, almost in some capacity more difficult to jump out of, what's comfortable, what's feeling good, and go for what you, take that leap of faith for what you believe could be better and what you want more. So I guess, what was the real motivators? I know you mentioned early mornings, winter. What were the real sort of motivators that made you take that leap of faith and pull back from the face-to-face, even though you were earning, good amounts?
I think lifestyle. I really wanted freedom. I'm probably more driven by freedom of time than I am from money. I would have stayed in the gym if it was money, because we could have just kept charging more. Yeah. I was under high demand, but I think I'd just been on holidays. I think I got back from South America, and I just had this need to want to travel more and just have ultimate freedom of my lifestyle, just be wherever I wanted to be and still have a business. Because obviously I got back and I'd lost so much money. I was still paying rent in the gym when I was away. Yep. A couple of my clients dropped off. I had missed this huge chunk of like a really optimal time, and I realized how devastating it was to my business to not be able to take a holiday or do the things I wanted to do. I had to be there physically. And so for me, because that's my highest value, is to spend time with my friends, my family, and also travel, to be able to potentially do that and still have a business and an income, to me was like the only way out of that pain point. I felt like I was a slave to the gym and to, being in a certain place at a certain time to service my clients. So this was like the ultimate solution, I guess, to that challenge. Yeah.
Beautiful. And since, I guess, how hard was it for I speak to people regularly who are, either doing really well face to face or doing kind of well face to face, and peeling back, like when they start to see their online going well, there's
Mm.
almost like another level of a mental leap
Mm.
of peeling back to allow
Yeah.
more time and go for your actual dream from the initial space. So
Mm.
when you saw the online working, like how easy was it peeling back and pulling back further and further from your face to face?
It became easier too because, like you said, I felt like I kind of wasn't growing in that environment anymore. I could only help a certain amount of people given the fact that I only had a certain amount of time. And I realized that I could have the opportunity to touch so many more people and help so many more women. And that was a huge motivator for me as well. So when I opened up that opportunity, the thought of actually, being able to touch more people's lives, it wasn't that uncomfortable. It was actually really, really, I was happy to leap into the discomfort of the unknown, to be honest. I'm a risk taker, so I don't really, it didn't really bother me, and I've always landed on my feet, and I think I back myself pretty hard, to be fair. I've got a certain level of confidence about me that enables me to just kind of commit. But yeah, I guess it was that taking an initial hit as far as my income, to grow bigger, to be able to leverage my time better as well. So yeah, it was scary initially, but I think I was also not being challenged enough. And for me, challenge is like, it keeps me motivated. If I'm not challenged, I actually start to digress. So it was, once I made the decision, it was pretty much, I'd already, there's no hesitation. It's done.
Beautiful. No, that's really important. Like you said, being able to back yourself and trust your skill and know that you're going to fall on your feet. And I guess having, the performance and results you've had in the past, but then also having, community around you, all that sort of stuff definitely helps ensure that that it can be done. But I guess my next question was, what's your life like now that you've pulled back from your face-to-face in comparison?
Oh, my stress levels have decreased dramatically, like significantly. Just physically having to be on your feet and having so much physical contact with that many people. And it was draining. My training really suffered. I didn't want to be in the gym. And for me, my training has always been so passionate about it. And I just, like, towards the end, I just didn't want to be there anymore. As soon as I finished, I just wanted to get out. And then I was starting to really resent just being in that kind of space. So now I set my routine. I set the times that I want to talk to people, and it's created this ultimate lifestyle. I'm able to go away on the weekends, and instead of having to be in the gym on a Saturday morning, and I don't have to worry about being too tired on Monday morning, I can just clear my schedule a bit. So it's given me so much more freedom, but also my physical and mental health has improved dramatically, like absolutely dramatically. And yeah, it's been awesome. Like, I've definitely no regrets at all. Would never be going back. Everyone keeps saying to me, so I've just moved back to one day from down the coast, like, oh, you're gonna come back to the gym? And I was like, hell no. And they're like, you miss it. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I wish I could say I did, but not even one bit. So
yeah, no, it's sad to hear, and it's such a common thing that the reason why I guess we get interested in the industry in the first place is by personal interest and loving the gym and training and being fit and all that sort of stuff. And I hear it so many times from people who are starting to burn out a little bit with that, being face to face, being on your feet all day, kind of hating and resenting, and then feeling shit because you're not taking care of your own body, you're not training, you're not putting time and priority to what you love, and you kind of end up resenting what you got in it for the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was eventually it was showing through in the way I was coaching as well. Like, I could catch myself, my communication, or even just my energy. It wasn't there. My heart wasn't in it. And I think people could sense that. And it was, ultimately going to be to my demise. And I was just looking around me at the people. There was a few trainers in the gym that I worked at that had been there for I don't know, 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to get out of here? Like, what's your plan? And it was just like, God, how am I going to get out of here? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to have kids and having to come up and get up into the gym really early, then rush off to pick up kids. So like I respect everyone who does that. That's amazing. But for me, it was just not how I saw my future. I always knew that I could never go and work for anyone else again. But I was working for other people at that time. It felt like, you know, so.
For sure. Cool. In terms of tips, and this is always a tough one. So if someone's listening into this and they're like, you know, Ash, everything you're saying is, you know, really resonating, and, you know, I'm probably a couple of months, years, whatever it might be, down the journey of where you were. Do you have any kind of words of wisdom for them, or any kind of traps to avoid that slowed you down or anything like that?
Actually, this was really interesting. So my first initial plan to get off the gym floor was modeled off somebody else that I knew who had built this awesome platform and blah, 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 and making all this money. And that was my way out. I was going to build this platform. It was going to be subscription based. So that was it. It was done. Started kind of, you know, getting all the ducks in a row. My brother's a web developer, so he's in on it. He's building this thing. And then when I spoke to him, I was like having all this resistance. Like I was really procrastinating on certain stuff. And I'm an action taker. I'm not at all a procrastinator. I work really hard, but I was having this internal struggle with implementing, just getting stuff done, and I couldn't push past it. I was just like, what is going on with me? And I think we're like all, you know, told that fear and all this stuff is just, you know, it's your fear of success and all this bullshit. And I was like, no, Ashley, come on, you got to do this. What is your problem? And I was just kept thinking I was being lazy, but I read this article, and it was about fear actually being feedback, that you don't know what the hell you're doing, and it's there protecting you and it's stopping you, because if you do this, you're going to get hurt. And I think that's what it was, is that I wanted to be somewhere, but I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the framework. I didn't have the knowledge. And neither did my brother. He's a tech guy. I'm the trainer. But we didn't have the marketing ability. We didn't know how to build the framework to actually make it successful. And so I acknowledged my fear as not being me, being afraid of my own success. Really not afraid of that. The fear was rational. It was totally rational. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and it wouldn't have been successful. And actually, it was Matt, when I had a call with him, when I inquired you guys, that pointed that out to me. And it was like a big moment where he said, "That's amazing, but you're about, you know, 10 steps behind that. That's where you want to be, your end point." And he said to me, "If you tried to do that, I'm sorry, but it wouldn't be successful." And I was like, "Thank you for saying that." I think that's what I knew in my subconscious brain. But to have someone actually tell me that, it was like, yes, I need to do the work now. I need to start now to build to where I want to be. So I guess the point of the story is that, like, the longer you delay starting something, the longer you delay getting to your ultimate point, because it does take momentum, it does take building, it does take compounding effect. And even if starting now is just being more active with your social media, because I've been so successful with my coaching business because I put so much hard work into my social media content, and I'm very much myself. I put out lots of good information all the time, and I'd been doing that for a couple of years leading up to even going online. So I guess even if you don't feel ready to do it yet, start some form of momentum building to it now, because when you are ready, you'll already have this engaged audience that will be buying from you immediately, that they know that you offer online coaching. And so I'm going to be where I want to be much faster than I would had I not done that. But yeah, also, like, ask for help, like, get someone to help you. It's hard. Like, even unless you're a professional in marketing and tech, if you're just a trainer, you don't have those skills. So you've got to acquire those skills at some point. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is I always was resistant to asking for help. But as a coach, I also see value in coaching. Who am I to say that I don't need help? So I guess that was the thing for me, like, start taking action now, regardless of when you're ready to start. And when you're ready, you get help. Like, actually enlist the help of someone who can expedite the process. Otherwise, you're just going to take a long time.
Of course. And yeah. I guess, anything else before I jump in?
I don't think that's it.
No, that was really good. And it's so powerful, so true. And, you know, staying stagnant, not doing anything is the fastest way to failure, because you're not doing anything, you're not moving forward, you're not, you know, even if you're, as Ash mentioned, they're just prepping and getting active. Obviously, you want to be doing and spending your time and energy on the right stuff, and knowing what to put it on. But then just moving forward, making moves, pulling the trigger on stuff. That's really where it's at. But I guess I just want to touch on as well. So, Ash, your ideal client. What's the type of client you work with?
So my niche, my brand is called Chicks Who Lift. I work with women probably between the ages of 20 to 45 who are already experienced in the gym, say intermediate to advanced level. I don't deal with beginners. I deal with women who I don't have to sell them in on the fact that they're not going to get stupidly bulky from lifting weights and all this kind of stuff. Like, I had that conversation too many times. I decided I didn't want to ever have it again. So I niched out of that to women who are already in the gym who just want to take it to the next level. I've got a really kind of high level programming experience and nutrition experience as well. So I wanted to be able to utilize those skills. Also study NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which I interject into a lot of my coaching. So I'm very mindset focused. So yeah, my niche is women who are like serious about getting serious results. They've done the foundation, but they need a higher level of programming and nutrition strategy. Yeah.
Beautiful. And the last question I've got for you, I was speaking with a trainer this morning and he asked me this, and I thought it'd be great to hear it from yourself as well. So I know the answer, but it'd be great to hear it from your experience. So how have you found the clients you get online? Like, do they differ in any way, the clients you used to get face-to-face to those that you get online? Are they the same? Do they have different mentalities, different wants and needs? How do you find that?
Yes and no. I probably would take on beginners in the gym just because I am able to safely progress them and I can watch them and I can actually teach them the movement patterns. So only from that respect. But I think there's that saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so I think people see me on social media, they see how they talk, they listen to my messaging, and they either like love me or they're put off by how direct I am sometimes. Energetically, they're pretty much the same, and I'm very picky. I won't take on every client. If I don't feel a good vibe from them on the phone, I'll actually not take them on for that reason. I make it very clear that I'm a coach, not a babysitter. So I'm very firm on the boundaries that I set with my clients in regards to communication. I think the only dissimilarity would be the level of experience, but other than that, that's pretty much the same. Yeah.
Beautiful. No, it's absolutely spot on. And I guess even just to pick up on the point there of being very clear about what you do, who you want to work with, and not being afraid. You know, being in the position where you have enough interest, enough people wanting to be a client that you can go, look, you're potentially not perfect for me, you're perfect for me, I want more like you, and be able to pick and choose is a really powerful thing for yourself. But it's also at the same time extraordinarily powerful for your clients, because you get people you gel with who are serious and want to make a change, and they're going to get the ridiculous results and absolutely love it and pay and stay long term. So very, very important part. And I guess just anyone that's listening to this online, you have the capacity to work with people worldwide, and it's not about, you know, every single person that reaches out. It's about being choosy, being very clear on who you are, what you do, and that's going to repel some people, but it's also going to attract the people that you want.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
it's very important. In terms of, I guess, final one, being yourself. How important is it being yourself in your social media and not trying to, I guess, fit in with everyone and make everyone happy with your messaging?
Yeah, I couldn't I had this big thing where I always had to appear to be so inspirational and motivational all the time, you know, no bad days kind of shit, always looking amazing, all these photo shoot photos all the time. And it wasn't until I started being really vulnerable with my own journey, with my own history, with my body, the struggles I've had with mental health, people really started to resonate and see me like I was them. And that's way more motivating to know that somebody can suffer from the same challenges as you, but still is able to achieve results, as opposed to being this genetically blessed, perfect person who's hashtag Fitspo. So yeah, I am
bullshit as well.
it's bullshit. That's one thing I swear a lot, and that's how I talk normally. Like in front of my grandparents at dinner, I will swear, like not intentionally, it's just subconscious. But that's how I talk on my social media. I talk in my messaging is exactly like you would be sitting in front of me having a conversation, and I'm always posting stories so people can see my real life as well as my fitness life, and I'm always talking shit. I'm not afraid to give a strong opinion, and that can attract attention, good or bad, but it's attention, and that's can sometimes be always a good thing. I couldn't stress enough how important it is to not try and curate your messaging too much to what you think people want to hear, and just be yourself, because then you will attract authentic clients who want to work with you, and who they know what they're getting, and they know what to expect, and they're so bought into it. And I don't sell on the phone. Literally, I make sure that they tick my boxes, and then I go, which one do you want? There's not even like a convincing thing, because they already know me so well and they trust me. They watch me every day. It's so weird, actually. Some of them like bring up posts or stories that I'd done a year ago. That's so creepy. I'm sorry, you're a weirdo. And all people come up to you on the street. I don't even have a massive following, but I often have people come up and see me in Bondi and like want to talk to me and stuff, and it's pretty cool. And I think that's because of the authenticity that I display, and the fact that I just finally let go of that perfection thing and was myself. And it's such a relief to not have to try and put on a certain avatar every day. You just kind of be you, and people just they love it. They love that stuff. Yeah,
very much so. And you've probably heard me talk about it, but if anyone else that's watching this hasn't yet, the Batman versus Superman analogy. Superman cannot die, cannot be hurt. He can fly. He's an alien. Batman was a human. He's vulnerable. He gets hurt. Out of the two characters, Batman forever has outsold Superman in every single way. Every single, look at the Superman movies. They all flop. The Batman movies, they kill it. And the reason being is because Batman is human. He is vulnerable. He can die. He makes mistakes. And people can relate to that, whereas no one can relate to Superman. He's an alien. He's a perfect being. He's this and that. So don't try and be Superman. Try and be more like Batman. Be more like yourself. Be more vulnerable. And people connect, and people buy and want help. And that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. Well, look, we'll finish up here. Ash, I appreciate your time. I'm going to throw over to you one more time. I've probably already asked the question, but any words of wisdom to wrap up today's call?
Oh God, I've just given you all my wisdom.
Exactly right.
I don't know. I guess, just there's never going to be a perfect time to start anything, but that's why you have to start at least something. And everything has a compounding effect. So it's all about a consistent investment, whether that be, like with your clients in the gym, same with your business. Like you don't have to do everything now. Just start with something small and kind of continue to build onto it. And then when you are ready, you'll have a solid foundation. And just be yourself, I suppose.
There we go. Ash, I appreciate it very much. Hats off on the success you've had, the success you're going to have in the coming months, 12 months, 24 months from now. Guys, if anything has resonated, check out Ash. Ash, what or how would people find you? If someone want to become a client of yours, how are they going to find you, or whatever it might be?
So my Instagram handle is Ashley, ASHLEIGH _chicks who lift. And my website is chickswholift.com.au. So you can check either of those out.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for your time, Ash. We will no doubt be chatting soon. And that's it from us, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.